Davido and his new album Five. It was released on the 18th, which is barely 24 hours ago. I think it's a day now already, by the way. But yeah, what do we think about this album? We're getting a lot of reviews from Davido fans. Fans in general, this is Davido's right hand man, Chief Priest, said best album of the year so far. Davido, nobody sing past you at J, my idolo or idolo, however people pronounce it. But for me, it's is this album what's the hype? Is this album what Davido standard as his fifth album so far? Yeah, I listened to the album multiple times, like I do, many albums from Nigerian artists. I do that a lot. As a music enthusiast, you always have to pick, the album start to finish, see where the artist is coming from, what headspace they are in currently when they release the album, and to see if they've actually grown. Looking at the album Five, let's go to Spotify. As you can see, you can obviously see that, this is the album I've been playing recently, Davido's album. What do I have to say about Five? I think Five is a well mid-tempo album. Davido over time has really relegated the fast pace, music or the very loud music. I think Afrobeats in general has sort of, redirected their focus from fast pace to a little bit mid tempo, slow, which is obviously very good for his voice. It makes his voice and his music more digestible. So I would say I love the album for that. Again, yes. So let's look through the best songs in this album. Five. For me, I love two personal solo records in this album that he made. Well, the first one for me would be okay. Let's say this. This is in no particular order, because if for me to be able to put this into a particular order, it means I have to give it multiple listens. I can be intentional like that, but anyways, yeah. So for me, the top songs in these albums, including his solo songs and his features, I put CFMF up there as one of the top songs that I would always go back to. I put 10 kilos there, and this is the reason why I feel like Davido put most of the songs together. Like if you notice, CFMF is in number four, 10 kilo is in number five. Offer Me with Victoria Monet is number six. So Davido and his team, the his Q&A and R team knows exactly what they were doing when they came together and said, you know what, let's curate this album, because that was a very good flow. If you're listening, sequentially, you would notice that this was a very, very good flow. So track four, he got me with that one. Track five, he got me with that one. Track six, Offer Me, he got me with that one. And very honestly, I think Victoria Monet delivered perfectly on this track. It makes you want to go back. And I mean, Whiskey is probably not the first person to go this direction, but this looks like a Whiskey lane where he would recruit a female singer to start off a record, and he complements it. And I see Davido doing the same thing here with Victoria Monet, which makes this feature more digestible. So when you listen to it, you get the balance, you get the feel from both Victoria Monet and Davido. So I would say that's also one of the top records for me. Which other record should I point to? I'm not going to talk about the lead singles, right? I'm only talking about those records that I feel are top of my list. Titanium with Chris Brown, it's a decent record, but I mean, let's be honest. Davido and Chris Brown have had, multiple great records, and this doesn't meet that standard. We're talking about Blow My Mind. We're talking about, pardon me, I probably would lose. Let's see some of the features that Davido and Chris Brown have together. Yeah, so we have Blow My Mind, we have Sensational, we have Home. I do think that Titanium would fall as the least feature that these guys have worked together, that it's good, because it obviously can't compete with Home. Home was a very dope record as well till today. Blow My Mind is amazing. Bro, I'm not gonna even tell you. For me, I played Blow My Mind, eh? Upside down. So Blow My Mind is up there for me in that list. That's the goat of all Chris Brown and Davido collaboration. Then Sensational comes in second place. Then we have third place. Titanium is like the least, the collaboration that they've had, that I'll place at the very bottom. But anyways, back to Davido's album again. Yeah, let's go back to Davido's album. What other song do I have that I would put on that list as a go-to song for me again? A go-to song for me again would be um yes, obviously with Omalay. I may be the only one, but I do not feel the chemistry between their collaboration. Omalay's verse on this record was fire, by the way. I just didn't see the compliment, between Davido and Omalay, and how Davido complimented, the Omalay's initial verse. So I would obviously go back to the record because it was strategic. Omalay was placed at the very beginning of the record to get you into your feelings. And by the time you get into that feelings, halfway through the song, you're already sold, right? But towards the end, when Davido jumped in, I just feel like it wasn't very complimentary. But this is another record I'll place up there. So my top records again from the five album is CFMF, 10 Kilo, Offer Me. Oh, I missed the one with Victoria and Musa Keys. That's fire. Holy Water is a fire record. I think that's also going to do great numbers eventually. I'm curious to see what Davido is really going to push. I know right now they're looking at the numbers and seeing what's, trending, what people are tilting towards. I think a lot more people will tilt towards the Holy Water. I know for sure that they have a video coming out for that already, because Musa Keys posted he posted a snippet on his page. That's gonna be a very dope record. Musa Keys and Davido have a very good chemistry with their records already. So this is obviously one of those. It's gonna be fire. And then they recruited Vitoni to be part of this amazing record, man. So I put this as well at the top of the list. And then Titanium, obviously, and With Me featuring Omalay. Again, I'm going to talk about this With Me with Omalay because it's very dear to me, I'd say. Maybe because I actually like the song. But I also feel like this record is probably a year old. Omale could have updated his verse. It was looking stale, sounding stale. Some of the records were sounding stale. But notwithstanding, I still think it's a great body of work Davido delivered here with five. It's probably going to do some numbers as well. The only thing I would say again is for Davido's next album, I really want to see him, challenge himself because over the course of his career, five albums in, he hasn't really, you know, yeah, it's okay to stay within your confined space of comfort, right? But at some point, if you really want to be very competitive with these guys, doing international, you have to try something new. He did that with Son of Mercy. It didn't go well. I think he still wants to play safe and just use his features to try to score some international records. But I really want to see Davido do something else, like push himself. I know he can do it. I know he can do it. He just has to push himself. Again, one of the interviews I watched, he said 80 songs and he had to pick some of the songs from the 80 songs in his drive to make this album. And I'm going to say this, most of these records really, really sounded stale, which means they've been in the hard drive for a very long time. And due to the fact that right now it's an album market, it means all artists, not just an album market equates streaming numbers, and this is something that a lot of artists are fighting for right now. 5, 10 years ago, as long as you're popping, you're popping. No one is counting your streams to tell you, I have so streams more than you. This person has many career streams more than you. It was just, do you have the biggest songs? But now that streams is a very integral part in determining who people are listening to more, I think Davido is trying to put out as much projects as possible. Same thing with Wizkid. He's trying to put out as much projects as possible to match what's in the market right now, especially because Burna Boy is running through with a lot of albums. So I do understand him really trying to put this album out, but he's going to need fresh materials for his new album, and at least try to do something, more, for the lack of a better word, thought provoking, something different from what we've heard from Davido. Most of these albums, like most of the songs from this album, feels like we've heard them before. It does feel like that because, okay, what was new? You want to give people something new, right? At the end of the day, over 10, if I would rate the album, because it's David, obviously because it's David, one, the album listening experience, I'll just say 5/10, man. 5/10. Yeah. One thing is very common when people talk about Davido is his hard work. Sometimes I'm like, listen, guys, Davido is hardworking. We know a lot of other artists are hardworking too. What's it bringing to the table in terms of the music, right? That's what we want. Every artist is hardworking. People are in the studio working. I'm sorry, yeah. But what is he bringing to after the hard work? What is he bringing? Are we enjoying that hard work? That's what we want to hear when we listen to his music. So, yeah, I mean, 5/10, decent album. That's my rating for this.